Hello everyone, in today's reading video, we will continue with the next chapter, that is population. First subtopic is human geography. Till now, we have completed Indian polity, history and Indian economy. From the Lucent GK objective, you can find the playlists over here. Open the playlist and play them according to the sequence so that you cannot miss any of the lectures. Okay, thank you. The prime meridian passes through Greenwich. Who of the following devoted himself to the study of the modes of life of Germans living outside Germany? Radgel. Who of following named the human dominance theory of man-environment relationship possibilism? Lucien Febvre. Who of the following geographers stated that the earth is an inseparable organic whole? That is Ritter. Who of the following advocated the idea that the state is an organism attached to the land? That is Radgel. Consider the following statements and which of these statements above are correct. Humanistic geography depended on the growing need of social relevance of the subject. True. Humanistic geography developed due to reaction to excessive quantification and model building in geography. This is also true. Humanistic geography drew much from the radical trend in geography. This is also right. All the three statements are correct. Consider the following statements. Which of the statements given above are correct? Spatial behavior of people, spatial perception, spatial experience and imagination, no. Mental gaps, no. 1 and 2 are the right statements. Consider the following statements. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Columbus estimated that Asia must lie very close to Europe on the west on the basis of the work of Ptolemy, right? Strabo gave a correct explanation of the floods of the Nile, attributing them to the heavy rains in the Ethiopia. Both 1 and 2 statements are the correct statements. Which of the following scholars are related to the geocratic viewpoint in human geography? Correct answer using the quotes, okay? Scholars related to the view of human geography. Humboldt, no. Ritter, right. Radgel, no. Semple. 2 and 4 are related to the viewpoint of human geography. Assertion and reason. Human geography is the synthetic study of the relationship between human societies and the earth's surface. True. It includes all those parts of geography which are not solely concerned either with the physical environment or cartography. This is also right, and reason is the correct explanation. This is not the correct explanation for assertion. Another assertion reason. Humanistic geography gives the central and active role to human awareness and human agency, right? Humanistic approach developed as the reaction of positivism. This is also true, and reason is not the correct explanation for assertion. Consider the following statements. Which of the above are correct? Human geography covers all those aspects of geography which are not directly concerned with physical geography. True. Human geography is the study of interrelationship between human beings and their environment. This is also right. Human geography with the description and explanation of human phenomena around the variable Earth surface. This is also right. Human geography does not cover technical matters of cartography. All the 4 statements are correct. Next subtopic is world population. Population dividend refers to youthful age structure of a population. The most densely populated continent in the world is Europe. What is cultural trait of Islamic belt? That is traditionalism. Which of these people change their house types according to the season? Those are Kyrgyz. Caucasoid are found in West Asia. In New Zealand, 90% of population is that of Britishers. Australian cultural patterns is Western. Who is the basic follower of philosophy of dialectical materialism? Russia. Shinto religion belongs to Japan. The staple food of Asian is rice. The most densely populated island of the world is Java. The most common criteria for classification of towns is population. What is the hallmark of Hindu culture? Rejection of material things. Western culture is another name for European culture. In which Asian culture has the birth declined? Japan. The age and structure of population in various countries are having slight variations. Western Europeans have long heads. Among the following countries, which one is most densely populated? That is Netherlands. In which one of the following countries do the ethnic communities called Karen, Kachin and Chin live? Myanmar. Among the following countries, which one has the highest total fertility rate? Pakistan. Among the following South Asian countries, in which one of the maternal mortality rate is the lowest? That is in Bangladesh. Among the following countries, which one has the lowest growth rate of population? In Europe. In which one among the following countries is the urban population as percent of its total population highest? Australia. As per the World Development Indicators of World Bank, in which one among the following South Asian countries is the average annual growth rate of population during 2002 to 15 expected to be the highest? In Nepal. Regarding the zone strata theory of Taylor, which one of the following statements is not correct? Central Asia has been the cradle land of human races. No, this is not the correct statement. Oldest human races are farthest away from the cradle land. True. Recent human races are nearest to the cradle land. True. Caucasoids are the latest human races. These are also true. DCD are the correct statements and A is the incorrect statement. Which of the following is or are the stages of demographic transition? High death rate and birth rate, low growth rate, right? Rapid decline in death rate, continued low birth rate, very low growth rate, no, false. Rapid decline in birth rate, continued decline in death rate, false. Low death rate and birth rate, low growth rate, false. Only one is the correct statement. Approximately one half of the world population lives in East and South Asia. The correct sequence in the descending order with respect to present total population of the given countries is USA, then Brazil, then Mexico, then Colombia. The following Gulf countries have Indian communities. The correct sequence in descending order of the size of the Indian community as per 1990 figures will be first Iraq, then Saudi Arabia, then Kuwait, then Oman. Southwest Asia is inhabited chiefly by Caucasians. Consider the following statements. Caucasoid is associated with of these statements, okay, is associated with long wavy soft hair, right? Narrow to medium broad face, right? Very broad, flat broad to very broad nose, no, false. 1 and 2 are the correct statements. The international migrations of populations in Eurasia in the late 40s after the Second World War were caused by religious fanaticism. The largest religious system in the world in both geographic extent and number of adherents is Christianity. Assertion and reason. The study of sex composition of population assumes added significance for national planners. True. The two sexes play partly complementary roles in the economy and society. Reason is also true, and this is the correct explanation for assertion. Population explosion is associated with high birth rate and low death rate. Consider the following situations. Demographic transition in a country follows the sequence. Very high birth and death rate, then birth rate greater than death rate, then low birth and death rates, then very low birth rate, low death rate. The highest growth rate of population is found in India. In developing countries, the population to preserve increase in some parts due immigration. Such parts are characterized by large employment opportunities. Which of the following characteristics symbolize the Oriental cultural realm? Those are joint family bonds and subsistence agriculture, but not industrialization and urbanization. The most densely populated African country is Egypt. Next, assertion and reason. A negligible proportion of the people of the hot desert regions of the world re-engage in industrial pursuits. True. Those regions are very poorly endowed with mineral or energy resources. False. Consider the following countries. The correct sequence of these countries in descending order of their population is Indonesia, then Brazil, then Japan, then Bangladesh. Marxist philosophy of population dynamics states that Economic and social benefits can only be enhanced by an increase in the labor force. Consider the following statements. The problem of overpopulation in most of Africa is due to inadequate agro-industrial development. Which of the following pairs are not correctly matched? Indonesians, Australoid, true. North Africans, Caucasoid, no. West Europeans, Mongoloid, no. South Americans, Negroid, that's right. 1 and 4 are the correctly matched. The most widely accepted scheme of cultural terms are Broik and Webb. The Mongol culture was originally situated in Mongolia. Infant mortality and birth rate tend to vary together, which suggests that decrease in one leads to increase in the other. Consider the following statements of the statements. Okay. The distribution of population in the southern continents is peripheral. No. Among the continents, Europe has the highest density of population. True. The most densely populated regions in the USA is its Californian coast, right? Equatorial regions generally have lowest density of population due to dense forest. True. 2, 3, 4 are the correct statements. Next, assertion reason. The Homo sapiens are generally divided into Caucasoid, Mongoloid, Negroid, and Australoid races, right? Terminal charges are reduced. This is also true, but reason is not the correct explanation for assertion. Another question. The first major group of migrants from the UK to northeastern USA were the Pilgrim Fathers, right? The Roman Catholics were allowed to practice their religion fully in the UK at that time. This is also true. This is the correct explanation for assertion. Consider the following statements. As per the optimum theory of population, per capita income will increase with the population growth in underpopulated areas. True. According to Malthus, population doubles once in every 20 years. No. Celibacy, self-control, and late marriages are the preventive checks postulated by Malthus, right? According to Malthus, war, earthquake, and flood are some of the positive checks on population growth. True. 1, 3, 4 are the correct statements. Canthoderons is the term of skin applied to Mongoloid. Consider the following statements. According to Malthusian model, population tends to increase arithmetically. No. Positive and preventive checks prevent excessive growth rate of population, right? The basis of preventive checks is moral restraint. True. Postponement of marriage is to be emphasized. True. 2, 3, 4 follows the Malthusian model. Which of the following pairs are correctly matched? Primary sex ratio, sex at the time of conception, true. Secondary sex ratio, sex at the time of birth, right. Tertiary sex ratio, sex at the time of enumeration, right. Imbalanced sex ratio, sex of workers, no, false. 1, 2 and 3 are correctly matched, but 4 is not correctly matched. Which one of the following represents the correct sequence of the descending order of population size of the 4 given megacities of the world? Mexico City, then Tokyo, then New York, then Mumbai. Since 1970, the trend of urbanization in West Africa has led to growth of shanty towns around the cities. Assertion and reason. The Darwinian theory of natural selection, sometimes referred to as the survival of the fittest, explains the origin of many species as a normal process of descent from parent forms. True. The contemporary distribution pattern of many organisms is often the result of natural migration or dispersal from original center of the development. Reason is also true, but this is not the right explanation for assertion. Consider the following statements. Demographic transition is a general model. Which of the above are correct? Describing the evolution of levels of fertility and mortality, true. Which has been developed with particular reference to developed countries, no. Which has been accepted as the universal model of the population growth, true. Which suggests for highly sterilized phases in the process, right. 1, 3, 4 follows. The correct sequence in the descending order of given countries in terms of life expectancy at birth is Sri Lanka, China, Pakistan, and India. The doubling period of population is the lowest in Iran. The first scholar to formulate the laws of migration was Ravenstein. Easy. Consider the following statements. Which of the above statements is or are correct? Low-income countries of Asia have lower level of urbanization but had some of the largest citizens in the world. True. The most of Southeast Asian countries have primate pattern of urbanization. Yes. No, this is false. In the addition of world urban population after 1950, the share of developed countries is higher than that of the developing countries. True. 1 and 3 are the correct statements. The mobility transition model of migration was propounded by Ravenstein. Easy. Consider the following statements. Which of the above statements is are correct? Population of European countries is stagnating. True. European countries' fertility rates are below the replacement rate. The fertility rates in all the countries of Europe are below 1.5%. No. About 12% of population of Europe is in the senile age group. True. 1 to 4 are the correct statements. The aboriginal population of the Andaman Islands belongs to which one of the following racial categories? Paleo-Australoids. Next, assertion reason. Outmigration results in increase in employment opportunities and wage rates but a loss in the investment. True. Generally, young people migrate and out-migration areas have fewer number of young adults relative to the number of children and aged people. The reason is false. Next assertion reason. In developed countries, the economically active population in agriculture sector has declined. True. The per capita arable land has also significantly fallen down. This is false. The Semitic people belong to the Negroid race. Consider the following countries. The correct sequence in descending order in terms of population density is Netherlands, Belgium, UK, and Italy. Who said similar locations lead to similar mode of life? Carl Ritter. The Red Indians or the American Indians belong to the Mongolian race. Celtic, Germanic, and Ural Altaic language groups migrated to west because they were pushed westwards when the easternmost groups moved west. Which one of the following states are formed exclusively by the migrants in the 20th century? Mauritius. Which one of the following states indicates the initiation of population explosion in the demographic transition? Stage 2. Next is matching. List one of the characteristic features and list two of the countries. Largest in population size, Germany. Highest population density, Belgium. Largest in area, France. Highest urban, Netherlands. Next assertion reason. Great Britain and New Zealand are remarkably similar in terms of area, oceanic location, and climate, yet Great Britain is densely populated and an important center of political and economic power. True. New Zealand, unlike Great Britain, suffers from the disadvantage of its location in the vast expanse of ocean in the southern hemisphere. The reason is also true, but this is not the correct explanation for assertion. Most of the people in the world live in lowland areas except those in Central America and northwestern South America. Which one of the following continents has the lowest birth and death rates? Europe. Which one of the following was formulated by George K. Giff in 1940 to explain the observed movement of people, principle of least of effort? Matching. List one of the factory of population problem and list out corresponding examples. Ban on migration, South Africa. Extraordinary growth, tropical lands. Inadequate use of natural resources, England. Then unequal distribution, Brazil. List one are the books and list two are the authors. A Prologue to Population Geography, that is W. Jelinski. A Geography of Population, that is G.T. Trewarth. The Geography of Life and Death, L.D. Stamp. Population Geography, J.L. Clark. Consider the following statements. Which of the given statements is or are correct? The present infant mortality rate in India is about 80 per thousand live births? No. The 10th plan envisages a reduction in infant mortality rate to 45 per thousand live births? True. The 10th plan envisages a reduction in decadal growth rate of the population between 2001 to 11 to 10%. Consider the following countries. Which one of the following is the correct sequence of the above countries in the descending order of their population size? Indonesia, Brazil, then Pakistan, then Iran. Consider the following statements in respect of the UAE. Which of the following above are correct? UAE are surrounded in the northwest by Oman? No. UAE have highest percentage of the foreigners in its population in the world? Right. Dubai is the most populous of the Emirates? True. Consider the following statements. Which of the statements given above are correct? The population density of Japan is close to that of India? Right. Crude birth rate of China is much lower than that of the India? True. Surface area of India is about 5 times that of UK? No, false. Which one of the following statements is not correct? Europeans immigrated into the densely populated tropical and subtropical coastlands? No, false. The great exodus from Ireland to mid-1900 was mainly due to failure of potato crops? True. Chinese immigrants have contributed greatly to economic development of Malaysia? Right. The cities of the northeastern United States are now experiencing net migration losses? True. A is the incorrect statement. Which of the following is a low density area? Okay. Equatorial forest? Right. Tropical deserts? Right. Eastern Asia? No. Northeastern America? No. 1 and 2 are the low density areas. The correct decreasing order of the population of the various continents is Asia, Europe, Africa, America, and Australia. Match the following languages and the countries: French, Algeria, Italian, Libya, Portuguese, Brazil, Spanish, Mexico. Which is the only Asian country having maximum number of languages? That is Nepal. India, right? Maximum number of languages, that is India. Once check in the internet, okay? I think it is India. Which part of Europe is most densely populated? It is Western Europe. The total population divided by available arable land area is referred to as agricultural density. World's highest urban density of population occurs in Tokyo. Which among the following is the most populous city in the world? That is Tokyo. Among these options, which of the following is the third largest country in the population after China and India? That is USA. The least densely populated country among the following countries in the Europe is Norway. Which continent has the highest density of population? Europe. Most of the people of the Middle East belong to Mediterranean. Currently, half of the world's population live in just 6 countries. Identify them from the following. It is China, India, US, Indonesia, Brazil, and Pakistan. Why Southeast Asia has the largest concentration of peasant population at the global scale? Due to intensive subsistence farming is practiced in the region. Which one among the following South Asian countries has the highest population density? That is India. Next subtopic is World Tribes. Lapland is a cultural region largely within the Arctic Circle in the north of the Scandinavian peninsula. Who inhabited the Lapland? That is Sami people. Next is matching. List one of the tribes and list two are the regions. Bhil tribe, Bastar region, Tharu tribe, Terai region, Goon tribe, Nilgiri region, Toda tribe, Malwa region. Tuareg is a pastoral nomad living in the desert of Sahara. Which one of the following pairs is correctly matched? Bindibus, which belongs to Australian desert. Where does the ethnic group called Dayak live? Borneo. Which one of the following primitive people uses kraal for their shelter? Maasai. Consider the following pairs: Tribes and the states. Limbu, Sikkim, right? Karbe, Himachal Pradesh, no. Dongaria, Kond, Odisha, right? Bonda, Tamil Nadu, no. 1 and 3 are correctly matched. Which of the following is a tribal group of Africa? That is Fula. Next is the matching. List one language and list two of the countries. Flemish, Belgium, Basque, Northeastern Spain, Ainu, North Japan, Swahili, Kenya. Next matching, list one with the list two. These are the tribes: Bushman, Namibia, Pygmy, Jaire, Eskimo, Alaska, Gond, India. In which of the following states are Garo and Khasi tribes found? Meghalaya, Garo, Khasi, Jaintia. These are the hills over there, and these are the famous tribes. And the matching races and inhabitation. Semang, Malaysia, Hottentots, Kalahari, Polynesian, Hawaii, Nordic, North Plains of India. And the matching Maasai, East Africa, Berbers, Northwest Africa, Red Indians, North America, Kyrgyz, Asia. One of the four given is known as the man of the forest, orang outan. Which of the following criteria is not used for the classification of human races? That is year. Next matching tribes and the regions. Hottentot, South Africa, Inuit, Canada, Berber, Libya, Yakut, Siberia. Gadis are shepherds of Himachal Pradesh, and the matching tribal group and state were predominantly located. Riang, Arunachal Pradesh, Dimasa, Nagaland, Konyak, Assam, and Mishmi belongs to Tripura. Next matching countries and indigenous people. Canada, Innu, China, Uyghur, Thailand, Lisu, USA, Crow. Next matching tribes and countries. Babinga, Ethiopia, Kula, Canada, Oromo, Aire, Swa, that is Angola. Which one of the following does not represent the primitive gathering in the high latitudes? Yahgans. And the matching tribes and habitants. Inuit, Northern Canada, Bantu, Central Africa, Shompen, Nicobar Islands, Chukchi, Northern Russia. Tribes belonging to which one of the following groups earn their livelihood through food gathering and hunting? Bushman, Pygmy, and Eskimo. Another matching tribes and place of habitat. Inuit, Northern Canada, Bantu, Central Africa, Shompen, Nicobar Islands, Chukchi, Northern Russia. This is repeated matching actually. The New Zealander are also known as Kiwis. And the matching nomadic tribes and regions. Okay, which of the pairs given above correctly matched? Okay, Sam, Kalahari Desert, Samoyed, Siberia, Wodabe, Northeastern Asia, and Yakut, Lena Basin. No, third and fourth are not correctly matched. First and second are correctly matched. And the matching tribes and habitats. Simang, Equatorial Belt, Bedouin, Hot Desert, Maasai, Savanna grassland, Kyrgyz, temperate grasslands. Which racial group has the largest number of members? Mongoloid. Next subtopic is settlement. Kampung is a form of rural settlement found in Malaysia. List one. Next matching is list one pattern of rural settlements and the location associated with it. Arrow, mountain slope. Checkerboard, road crossing at right angle. Circular, lake. Fan, delta. Who among the following propounded the law of primate city? Mark Jefferson. Consider the following statements. Which of the statements given above are correct? Immigrants wherever settled are culturally different from their receivers, are visible minorities, largely fulfill certain functions, are granted full legal rights only in stages. All the statements are correct. Which one of the following patterns of settlement is most likely to develop along the convergence of several transport routes, that is linear? Consider the following statements. Which of them are correct? Okay. As a society is partially linear, no, false. Pastoralism is the main occupation of the Taurus, right? First one is false and the second one is the correct. Consider the following tribes: Abusmaria, Botri and Gaddi. For which of the following tribes is the economic activity mainly pastoral herding? That is for Boti and Gaddi. Who propounded the concentric circle theory of city morphology? Burgess. Next subtopic is transportation. Which one among the following will be the longest railway tunnel of the world, which is scheduled to be operational in the year 2016? That is railway tunnel beneath the Swiss Alps, that is Switzerland. Which is the longest railway tunnel in the India and where is it located? Mention that name in the comments, okay? And how many kilometers is it extended? Mention that also in the comments. Among the following countries, which one has the largest concentration of railways? That is South Africa. The shortest route from Los Angeles to Moscow is over the Atlantic Ocean. The Canadian Pacific Railways runs between Halifax and Vancouver. Next, assertion region. The North Atlantic Ocean route is the world's most important ocean route, right? The North Atlantic Ocean route brings together the developing and developed nations, no false. The longest inland waterway in the world is Mississippi River system. Which one of the following countries has the highest average of road length as per 1000 square kilometers areas basis? That is Japan. First railway line in the world was laid in northeast England. Which of the following is the longest railway tunnel? That is Thanna at Japan. The longest railway platform is Kharagpur, no false. This is not the currently longest railway platform. That is present in which state and which city? Mention the name of the railway station also in the comments, okay? But this is not currently the longest railway station in India. The largest railway station in the world is Grand Terminal, Central Terminal, which is at Chicago. The shortest air route from Perth to London is Perth, Aden, Paris and London. Which is the busiest ocean route of the world? That is North Atlantic Ocean. The greatest ship canal of the world is Suez Canal. The largest and the busiest inland waterways in the world is the Great Lakes and the rivers St. Lawrence in USA. Suez Canal joins Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea. Next is assertion and reason. The North Atlantic Ocean route is the world's most important ocean route, right? The North Atlantic Ocean route brings together the developing and developed nations. No, this is false. The Cape route has recently assumed some importance in the shipping world because the trade through this route has greatly increased with the development of South African states. The canal tolls on the Suez Canal are heavy. Large oil tankers cannot be accommodated in the narrow and comparatively shallow Suez Canal. All of them are correct. One will not have to pass through the Suez Canal while going from Mumbai to Suez. The canals in Western Europe are mainly used for inland navigation. Of the following, the busiest oceanic trade route is North Atlantic route. The oldest international airline is Qantas Airways. Next subtopic is models and principles. The most salient contribution to the study of spatial diffusion processes was made by Hagerstrand, the unified elemental complex in which all the features of the physical, biotic and societal environments are functionally associated with man's occupants of the earth has been called natural region. Next, assertional region. According to determinists, people living in similar environment manifest similar social, economic and or historical development. True. Every aspect of man's life mirrors the influences of the physical environment of his habitat. Is also right, and reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Human activities are conditioned and sometimes determined by biophysical environment. It's related to the doctrine of neo-determination, determination, not domination. The Colby hypothesis offers a dynamic explanation of sustainable development. Next is the matching. List one are the concept and the list two are the geographers. Human ecology, Harlan Barrows, neo-determination, Griffith Taylor, cultural determinism, Edward Ullman, environmental determinism, Carl Ritter. Consider the following. The correct chronological sequence is Ravenstein's law of migration, then Radgel's anthropogeography, then the normal cycle of erosion, then the geographical pivot of history. Next, assertion reason. In contemporary, there is an increasing awareness of the need for an interdisciplinary approach to the regional problems. Two, groups of scholars with diverse backgrounds and skills focus on specific sets of regional problems more comprehensively and scientifically. The reason is also true, and this is the correct explanation for assertion. Which one of the following geographers has developed the idea of mobility transition? L.A. Kosinski. Marxist geography found its most detailed and lucid expression in the writings of Richard Peace. Who among the following is regarded as the founder of humanistic approach in geography? Yi-Fu Tuan. List one of the authors and list two are the books. P. Gould, Mental Maps. P. Haggett, Locational Analysis in Human Geography. E.C. Semple, Influences of Geographic Environment. E. Huntington, Mainsprings of Civilizations. Consider the following statements. Which of the among are correct? Columbus estimated that Asia must lie very close to the Europe on the west on the basis of the work of Ptolemy, right? Strabo gave a correct explanation of the floods of the Nile, attributing them to the heavy rains in Ethiopia. Both the statements are correct. The correct sequence of von Thunen's optional land use rings is market gardening, woodlands, cereal farming, and grazing. Consider the following statements. Which of the above are correct? Radicalism in geography is critical of geography as a spatial science. True. Radicalism aimed at a general restructuring of capitalistic society. True. Radicalism in geography relied heavily on empiristic method. False. This is extreme statement actually. So this is false. Consider the following statements. Ellen Sample accepted the Ritgel's ideas about the state as an organism and introduced them to America. Right. Ellen Sample published her first professional article dealing the role of the Appalachians as a barrier in American history. True also true. Both the statements are correct. Consider the following statements. Which among the following are correct? Ritter saw in all his geographical studies the evidence of God's plan. True. All the volumes of the Die Ad Kunde completed by Ritter covered only Africa and a part of Asia. Right. Like Humboldt, Ritter's great work was largely put together on the basis of his own observations. Right. All the statements are true. Who of the following was the first scientific geographer who ascertained the length of equator on sound principles? Eratosthenes. Who among the following was the first to distinguish between general geography and special geography and to show the mutual dependence of these approaches? Verenius. Who among the following rejected the teleological idea of final causes and insisted that explanations must be sought in which is chronologically antecedent, and in this view opposed Linnaeus and Leibniz, but supported and amplified the ideas of Hume and Goethe and Kant? Consider the following statements. Among these two, which are the correct? Humboldt gave the first scientific description of the relation of altitude, air temperature, vegetation, and agriculture in tropical mountains. Right. Ritter developed the concept that continental climates are colder in winter and warmer in summer. than the climates at places near the oceans at the same latitude. First one is right and second one is not correct. Radzel's second volume of Anthropogeography emphasized on influence of man on natural environment. Consider the following statements. Which of the above two are correct? Ptolemy indicated on his map that the Indian Ocean was enclosed by land in the south. True. Al-Masudi described the evaporation of moisture from water surfaces and the condensation of the moisture in the form of clouds. Both the statements are true. Which medieval geographer made extensive corrections of Ptolemy's work? Al-Idrisi. Consider the following statements. Al-Biruni first presented the idea that the southern hemisphere was mostly an open ocean and that most of the world's land area was in the northern hemisphere. False. Ibn Battuta quoted in his writings that Hindus believed that the tides were caused by the moon. No, false. Neither of the statements are correct. Which one of the following is the correct statement? Varenius's special geography was regional geography. Who among the following geographers adopted the deductive method of study in geography? Kant. Consider the following statements. Which among the three are correct statements? Okay. Ritter made use of the regional approach to geography rather than the systematic study of individual features. True. Second and third statements are false. Once read these. I am going out of the time bound actually. That's why I am skipping those options. Once study both the options, but these two options are the wrong statements. Only one is the correct statement. Consider the following statements. Which of the following are correct? The sample was very careful to make the point that the environment controls human action. Right? Huntington posited climate, the quality of people and culture as a triadic causation of human progress. Both the statements are correct. Who related the size of civilization in the mid-latitudes and the lack of development in the tropics to climatic conditions? Hugh Huntington. For preparing the world map, Eratosthenes used prime meridians through which one of the following? Alexandria. Consider the following statements. Which among the following are correct? Okay, the central themes of Vida de la Blanche are that nature sets limits and offers possibilities for development. True. Man's adjustment to nature is the function of traditions and mental structuring. Both the statements are correct. Regarding von Humboldt, consider the following statements. He assembled materials to show how environments varied with differences in agricultural practices reflecting interaction among altitude, temperature, and vegetation. Right? He developed synthetic reasoning leading to inductive generalization. This is also correct. Both the statements are correct. Consider the following statements. Among these two, which are correct? Ritter's scientific geography was based on concept of unity in diversity. Right? Ritter's concept regarding the meaning of observed geographical patterns on Earth were teleological. Right? Both the statements are correct. Who of the following is the author of Almagest and Guide to Geography, two great books of Roman period? Ptolemy. Ravenstein and Jelinsky are well known for their work in the context of which one of the following models or theories? Migration. With reference to central place theory, consider the following statements. Okay. Which among these are correct? Okay. Christaller dealt only with retailing functions. Is his theory right? Losch attempted to incorporate manufacturing into his model. Right? Both the statements are correct according to the central place theory. Of the following, who enunciated that history should be studies geographically and non-geography historically? Herodotus. Consider the following statements. Which of in between these two are correct? Ptolemy presumed that the prime meridian passes through Bermuda Island. No. Ptolemy believed that Ceylon marks the southern limit of the world. No. False. Both the statements are false. Geography was first divided into general and special by Varenius. Consider the following statements. Among these two, which are the correct? Ritter identified races by skin color. True. Ritter's concept regarding the geographical patterns were teleological. Right. Both the statements are right. This is the repeated question. Radzel coined the term anthropogeography, which he used for the geography of man and his works in relation to the Earth's surface. This is also a repeated question. Which one of the following geographers wrote the book Influences of Geographic Environment? That is simple. This is also repeated one. Consider the following statements. Which among the statements are correct? The Jar Davy of Vidal de la Blanche refers to the inherited traits that members of the human group learn, what we may call culture, right? The generative is a basic factor in determining which are the various possibilities offered by nature a particular human group will select. Both the statements are correct. We will stop this reading video over here. We will continue in the next reading video with the next chapter, that is regional geography. If you like the content, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.